another print disability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Around our area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York now continues. Your reader for this hour is Donald. Southtowns B. Langer named new Orchard Park principal. Dr. Alexis R. Langer has been appointed as the new principal of Orchard Park High School, following an extensive and rigorous search process involving multiple rounds of stakeholder panels. Langer comes to Orchard Park with a wealth of high school administrative experience, most recently serving as assistant principal at Iroquois High School. A highly decorated school leader, she was named the 2023 SAANYS Region 12 High School Assistant Principal of the Year. She holds a Doctor of Education from the University of Buffalo, along with New York State certifications as a school district leader and a school building leader. Langer has spent the last 6 years as a high school assistant principal, working directly with master scheduling, curriculum alignment, and multidisciplinary data teams. Her background as a certified literacy specialist, including a Orton Gillingham Structured Literacy Certification, gives her a practical understanding of how to support teachers and improve classroom instruction. Additionally, she brings specialized training in school safety, crisis response, and student support systems. We are incredibly excited to welcome Dr. Alexis Langer to Orchard Park, said Orchard Park School Superintendent David Liliak. Throughout the interview process, Alexis stood out for her clarity, instructional background, and straightforward approach to relationship building. She is a systems-minded leader who will bring the consistency, follow through, and day-to-day operational structure needed to keep moving our work forward. She is an excellent fit for our students, staff, and community. Langer said she looks forward to joining the faculty, staff at Orchard Park High School to continue the district's work to maximize the potential of every student every day. She will begin her new role August 6th. East Aurora Summer Street Festival returns July 25th. One of Western New York's favorite summer traditions is back again this year as the 57th annual East Aurora Summer Street Festival returns from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, July 25th, in the heart of the village of East Aurora. Formerly known as the Sidewalk Sale and Street Festival, the East Aurora Summer Street Festival transforms Main Street and Riley Street into a maker and merchant fair featuring more than 120 vendors, artisans, makers, merchants, food vendors, community organizations, live entertainment, and family-friendly activities, so festival goers can spend the day shopping handmade goods, discovering local businesses, and enjoying delicious food. A highlight of this year's festival is the Operation Kids Makers Market, where young entrepreneurs will showcase and sell their own handmade products and creations. Visitors are encouraged to support these inspiring young business owners as they gain real-world experience in entrepreneurship, creativity, and customer service. The Operation Kids area, located in the parking lot on the corner of Main and Riley Streets, will also feature the Big Little Art Show, a youth art exhibition presented in partnership with Howling Woman Studio. This year's theme, Menagerie of Enchanting Creatures, engages the imagination and artistic talents of young local artists through a whimsical collection of original artwork. Families can also enjoy activities in Kids Zone, also located in the Operation Kids area, making the festival a fun destination for visitors of all ages. The East Aurora Summer Street Festival will also feature chalk walk murals from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., sponsored by the Town of Aurora Parks and Recreation Department. Live music provided by Big J Blues and DJ Entertainment by Norm Wheeler. There is a full lineup of entertainment throughout the day in front of the East Aurora Chamber of Commerce office at 652 Main Street. Martial arts demonstrations by Kempo Martial Arts Academy at 12:15 and 2 p.m. Animal meet and greet by Hawk Creek Wildlife Center at 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. Main Street will be closed to traffic from Olean Street to Elm Street, and Riley Street will be closed from Main Street to Riley Street Station. Admission to both events is free. This event is rain or shine. Free parking is available in Municipal Lot on Riley Street behind Taste Bistro and Coffee Bar and adjacent to Manny's Ace Hardware and Araba Tortilla. Parking is also available in public parking lots throughout the village and on village streets. Visitors are asked not to park in private parking lots. For event details, participating vendors, and updates, visit www.eanycc.com or follow the Greater East Aurora Chamber of Commerce on Facebook at East Aurora Chamber and Instagram at EACHAMBER. COVID changed the Chamber into a more community-driven organization by Joseph Kirchmeyer, Director of West Seneca Chamber of Commerce. Looking back, it's hard to find any positives that came out of COVID-19 crisis earlier this decade. I'll never forget when businesses were told to close their doors and many incoming calls for help that generated here at the Chamber. Additionally, it will be hard to forget all the canceled events and coming to work alone in a very large building that was locked to the public. Strange days indeed. While we hated canceling Chamber events, it did force us to rethink our mission at the time, which was to serve West Seneca's business community. Life threw us all a curve, but the Chamber embraced change and quickly incorporated some new initiatives that would help our entire community, not just businesses and organizations. For example, we started sponsoring some much-needed food drives to replenish our local food pantries and blood drives to replenish supplies at both Connect Life and the American Red Cross. And while the COVID crisis has passed, these community initiatives and others have remained on our calendar and will hopefully stay a part of the Chamber routine long after I'm gone. Annually, we now sponsor 2 large food drives, one in December, January, and one in July. One in December/January and one in July. You can help us this month by bringing donations of unexpired, non-perishable food items and personal care products to any of the following locations: West Seneca Chamber of Commerce, 1300 Union Road; Community Bank, 325 Orchard Park Road, Geico Local Office, 1102 Union Road, Synchronet, 1800 North America Drive, Western New York Federal Credit Union, 1937 Union Road. Please check expiration dates on all products before donating, as expired products cannot be accepted. If you have a large donation that needs to be picked up, contact the Chamber at 716-674-4900 to make arrangements. Financial donations of any amount will also be accepted at the West Seneca Chamber of Commerce office only. All donations will go to the West Seneca Community Food Pantry unless otherwise directed. When we distribute these items, we first search out to food pantries in West Seneca. If anything is left, we extend our reach to the Veterans Food Pantry in Tonawanda and pantries in neighborhood communities such as South Buffalo, Lackawanna, Orchard Park, etc. In addition to the food drive, the Chamber is also sponsoring an American Red Cross blood drive from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, July 25 in the West Seneca Community Center and Library. You can schedule an appointment at redcrossblood.org or by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. We love what we do for our community, our entire community. If you can help us in this month, we gladly appreciate it. Operation Key Fob nets arrest, stolen vehicles recovered. Erie County Sheriff John C. Garcia announced the successful completion of the first Operation Key Fob detail, a collective effort by Erie County's law enforcement agencies to recover stolen vehicles and effectuate arrest. On the evening of July 1, law enforcement recovered 4 stolen vehicles and removed an additional 4 from the stolen vehicle database. 2 subjects were arrested and charged with criminal possession of stolen property. Deputies and dispatchers from the Erie County Sheriff's Office, New York State Police, Buffalo Police Department, Amherst Police Department, Town of Hamburg Police Department, and Cheektowaga Police Department participated in the effort. A total of 734 vehicles have been reported stolen across Erie County this year. Operation Key Fob utilizes air and ground units in conjunction with intelligence resources to locate these vehicles so they can be returned to their owners. One of the stolen vehicles across the county, that were still outstanding, 25% were recovered by law enforcement on July 1. A vehicle is the most important asset in many people's lives, said Garcia. We use it to get to work, take our children to school, pick up groceries from the store. Without it, many people feel lost. That's why when a vehicle is stolen, it can have devastating effects on the victim. It's more than a simple inconvenience. Last night's deployment is only the start. Working with our law enforcement partners, we will be out in the community all summer long trying to make these victims whole. In the meantime, residents of Erie County should remember that they have the power to prevent car theft. Remove valuable items from your vehicle, lock it up, and bring your keys inside the house every time, said Garcia. You are listening to Around the Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Nobody does summer celebrations like the Southtowns by Gary Dixon, West Seneca Town Supervisor. If there's one thing Western New Yorkers know how to do, it's to make the most of summer. Our warm weather season may feel short, but we pack it in with parades, carnivals, concerts, fireworks, and community gatherings that bring neighbors together from one end of the Southtowns to another. West Seneca has already had a full calendar this year. Community Days featured a parade, rides, a music and beer tent, and 2 nights of fireworks. The West Seneca PBA Picnic brought its own music and beer tent, and this weekend, the Queen of Heaven Carnival, one of the biggest in the region, continues the tradition with food, rides, and of course another music and beer tent. Orchard Park and East Aurora have been no slouches either. Orchard Park's 4th of July parade was a great event, and both communities will host a taste of events, car shows, and other major gatherings, including the East Aurora Street Festival on July 25th and the Borderlands Music and Arts Festival at Knox Park beginning September 18th. September will be big in West Seneca as well. We are planning a community event to mark the 25th anniversary of 9/11 and honor the West Seneca first responders who traveled to New York City in the days after the attacks. Then on September 12th, we will continue celebrating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the 175th anniversary of the founding of the town of West Seneca with A More Perfect Union, an event on Union near Town Hall featuring music, a car show, and food. Sorry, no beer tent this time. Of course, every town and village and many local establishments also offer regular events, including summer concert series, farmers markets, outdoor movies, historical society programs, and more. Add municipal recreation facilities such as parks, sports fields, pools, splash pads, and playgrounds, and there is no shortage of ways to enjoy the season. The bottom line is simple. If you can't find something to do this summer, you may need to look a little harder. I don't know about every other part of the country or even every other part of New York State, but when it comes to patriotism and enthusiasm for being Americans, no place does it better than the Southtowns. We love our country, honor our veterans, and support our police and firefighters. You can see it in the crowds lining the streets for parades, in the attendance at Memorial Day ceremonies, and even everyday conversations with residents who still believe community matters. We are not perfect. Nothing made by human beings ever is, but America remains without question the best country in the world, and here in the Southtowns on summer nights filled with music, fireworks, neighbors, and flags, we are reminded why it is worth celebrating. A lot goes into making the right decision for our town, by Mary Sherman, West Seneca Town Council member. One of an elected official's most important responsibilities is making decisions that serve the community's best interests. Since being elected to the West Seneca Town Board, I have gained a deeper appreciation for the information, analysis, and thoughtful deliberation behind each decision. Residents see the final vote, but significant work takes place beforehand. Good decisions begin with good information. Board members spend considerable time reviewing reports, attending meetings, asking questions, and drawing upon the experience of town employees and knowledgeable department directors who effectively manage the day-to-day operations of our government. Public input also plays a critical role. Residents are encouraged to share and very frequently provide valuable insights, concerns, and ideas that help inform discussions and strengthen the decisions we make. One lesson I have learned is the importance of listening. While elected officials may not always agree with every opinion expressed, every resident deserves to be heard. Respectful dialogue helps identify common ground and strengthens trust between local government and the people it serves. The same principle applies within the town board, where thoughtful discussion often reveals that responsible people can review the same facts and arrive at different conclusions. Municipal leadership is not about achieving unanimous agreement. It is about ensuring that every perspective is considered and that decisions are made thoughtfully, ethically, transparently, and with a sincere commitment to serving the public interest. Perhaps the most challenging aspect of serving on a town board is finding the right balance between addressing today's needs and planning for tomorrow. Residents rightly expect us to respond to current issues, but also have a responsibility to make decisions that will benefit West Seneca in years to come. Responsible government requires carefully weighing both the short-term and long-term impacts of every decision to ensure we are meeting today's needs without losing the sight of future generations. West Seneca's success is always dependent on the involvement of its residents, the dedication of its employees, and the willingness of elected officials to make difficult decisions when necessary. By approaching those decisions with preparation, integrity, and respect, we can continue building a community that remains a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. As we celebrate West Seneca's 175th anniversary, it is worth reflecting on the generations of residents, community leaders, and public servants who helped shape the town we enjoy today. The vision, dedication, and commitment laid the foundation for our success. The decisions made by today's town board will help determine what West Seneca looks like in the future generations. Good government does not happen by accident. It is the result of informed judgment, careful deliberation, and a commitment to serving the public with integrity. It is both an honor and responsibility to help guide our community as we build upon 175 years of proud history, and we look forward to an even brighter future. The dangers of extreme heat and hot vehicles. Be editorial. While July is only just beginning, summer is obviously in full effect in the Southtowns, and more hot days are sure to follow. With that being said, you need to be sure you are taking the necessary precautions when out in your vehicle for the rest of the hot season, because 38 children on average die in hot cars every year, according to the National Safety Council. While it is ideal to park your car in the shade, more often than not, the sun will be hitting your car directly. Temperatures inside a car, even on a moderately sunny day, can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes. This puts children at risk of heat stroke, with their bodies heating up 5 times faster than adults. Over the past 25 years, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has reported that more than 950 children have died from heat stroke because they were left or trapped in a hot car. It always helps to take extra precaution, especially when dealing with the life of a child. Make sure you never leave a child unattended in a car, no matter the time, especially if the windows are down or tinted. Additionally, whenever you reach your destination, make sure you leave no one behind in the car. It can be easy to think that you're just running in somewhere quick, but the heat and its blazing seconds matter. It can also help to set up a visual reminder to check your car. If you are placing a child in a car seat or the back seat, try placing your purse, phone, or other important belongings so there you know to check the back seat before you leave the car. If there is ever an instance when you see a child is alone in a parked car, immediately call 911 for emergency assistance. These same tips and practices also apply to anyone with pets. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, hundreds of pets die every year from heat exhaustion because they are left in parked cars with the windows up. Best practice would be to leave your pets at home while running errands. While some think rolling down a window is sufficient, dogs can sweat like humans, causing them to overheat much faster. So while you may have a list of errands to run or places you need to go, none of those are as important as the lives of your children, pets, and loved ones. Even if you think that grocery trip will only take 15 minutes, or you just have to quickly run to talk to someone, think about the results if you leave someone behind in a car. No one wants to leave, come back to find that little Susie is having a heat stroke because she was forgotten in a car seat in a sweltering car. Be proactive this summer and don't let a quick errand get in the way of hurting the ones you love. Theater in the Park, returning with performances of The Hobbit. Aurora Players Theater in the Park will bring the world of Middle-earth to local audience this summer with a free outdoor production of The Hobbit at 7:30 p.m. on selected weekends in July and August. At Spam Roycroft Pavilion Outdoor Stage in East Aurora Hamlin Park on South Grove Street. The adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's classic fantasy novel written by Markland Taylor will be performed on July 17th and 19th, July 31 to August 2nd, and August 14th to 16th. Admission is free. Directed by Christopher Fire, the production follows the adventures of Bilbo Baggins, a reluctant hobbit who joins a group of dwarves on a quest to reclaim their homeland and treasure from the dragon Smug. Theater in the Park staging of the beloved tale will feature the characters, creatures, and epic journey they have made. Tolkien's story, a favorite among generations of readers and theater goers. Shakir Adoption Event. The third annual Shakir Family Pet Adoption Event will take place Saturday, August 29, 2026 at the stables at Knox Farm State Park, moving to a larger venue to accommodate more rescue organizations, vendors, and community activities. Hosted by Kahil Shakir and the Shakir Family Foundation, the event was inspired by the family's rescue dog, Missy, adopted from Nickel City Canine Rescue. Proceeds will benefit the Shakir Family Foundation and participating rescue organizations. The event will feature adoptable pets, vendor shopping, family-friendly activities, photo opportunities, entertainment, and special guest appearances, with additional details expected to be announced in the coming weeks. You have been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour has been Donald. Thank you for listening. Site plan approval, lot subdivision granted for Gateway Building site by Chris Graham, Sun Editor. Andrew Trasdees, a commercial broker developing the plan for their revitalized Gateway Building, has been talking for months about how he hopes to turn the Gateway Building site into the finest hotel in the region and create an entertainment hub for those staying and visiting the redeveloped area. Now he can start to work on making those hopes a reality. The Town of Hamburg Planning Board has granted site plan approval for the redeveloped Gateway site, which also approving a two-lot subdivision for the project. The approvals mark the biggest step in the development of the site since a planned unit development rezoning was approved by the Hamburg Town Board in December 2024. The PUD approval came with a number of conditions, including the applicant will provide the approved offering plan when it becomes available. Public amenities such as trails and walkways as shown in the final site plan shall be provided in the first phase of the project. There will be no more than 16 five-story condominium buildings on the site as shown on the final site plan. Public access to the waterfront shall be prioritized in every phase of the project. Enhanced protection along the Rush Creek corridor, such as maintaining vegetation buffers along the creek corridor, and a stormwater management system shall be installed on the project site that at a minimum complies with applicable standards from New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and Town Engineering Department. The Rush Creek vegetation buffer on the northern side of the project site shall remain, and there will be no removal of vegetation for enhanced views. Dark sky compliant lighting shall be required throughout the site during the site approval. Proof of access to the site shall be a condition of the site plan approval and approval by the town attorney's office. A rezoning of the C-3 zone lands to PUD is based on a general use purpose by the applicant, but are limited to the process proposed uses. All parking for staff and customers shall occur on the site. Each phase of the project will require site plan approval by the planning board to ensure that the above requirements are met, including any conditions placed by the town board and other site plan issues and properly addressed. These include landscaping, lighting, parking lot design, sewage, drainage, and other site improvements. The project will be given a time period of 10 years to complete the construction. If at the end of 10 years the applicant has not completed each phase of the project will return to the town board to address outstanding issues and a potential need for additional mitigations. The plan for the 25.50 acre site at 3556 Lakeshore Road will see 2 5-story hotel buildings with 65 suites each and 17 covered parking spaces on the eastern side of the Gateway building, and a 12 5-story condominium building with 8 units per building, each with 17 covered parking spaces. As for the Gateway building itself, it will include 102 hotel rooms, the continuance of the office space, 3 restaurants, a theater, a large meeting space, and a daycare site. The site approval was granted with 11 conditions. Approval is contingent upon the engineering department commitment letter dated June 26, 2026. The applicant shall comply with all rezoning conditions from the December 2nd, 2024 Hamburg Town Board Approval Resolution. Fencing types and location shall be installed per the site dated June 12, 2026. The landscaping plan dated June 12, 2026 shall be approved by the Planning Department in consultation with New York State Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. Lighting shall be shielded and dark sky compliant as shown in the lighting plan dated June 12, 2026. Sidewalk shall be installed internally within the project site as denoted on the site plan dated June 12, 2026. Parking with 863 spaces shall be installed as shown on the site plan dated June 12, 2026. Modifications that impact the proposed parking as deemed by code enforcement, engineering, and the planning department, addition or reduction of parking spaces will have to come back to the planning board for amended site plan approval. The Town of Hamburg Legal Department has determined that the applicant has met the town's requirements for the proof of access condition number 8 from December 2nd, 2024, Hamburg Town Rezoning Approval Resolution. The applicant shall be responsible for all third-party permitting and approvals, including but not limited to approvals from county, state, and federal agencies. The applicant shall submit proof of a shared access agreement to be approved by the Town Board of Hamburg Legal Department prior to the issuance of certificate of occupancy. The walking trail and associated landscaping shall be completed and installed in the first phases of the project. The two-lot subdivision of the property will have the gateway building, hotel buildings, associated parking, amenities, stormwater infrastructure on one lot, while the other lot will be the 12 condominium buildings, associated parking, amenities, and stormwater infrastructure. With 10 years to work, Transees has said previously that the idea will be to work on the gateway building first and then the new build and the two buildings at a time. Erie County Fair Best in Show Home Brew cider winners announced. Following the judging of the entries submitted for the 2026 Erie County Fair Home Brew and Cider competitions, the Best of Show winners have been selected and will be professionally reproduced and distributed by Triad Distributing to select retail locations in the fair this summer. Best in Show Cider, Chuck Prevetta of Eden. Winning cider, Black Cherry Vanilla. Chuck Prevetta of Eden has been named the Best in Show Cider winner for the Black Cherry Vanilla, a semi-sweet fruit cider that combines crisp apple character with rich black cherry flavor and smooth vanilla notes. Inspired by a friend's request for a black cherry cider, Prevetta crafted the award-winning recipe using high-quality natural flavorings to create an authentic fruit-forward taste. Prevetta has been making cider for 8 years and has been homebrewing and winemaking since 1997. A member of the Stumble Falls Homebrew Club, he is no stranger to the winner's circle, having also earned Best in Show Cider honors in the fair 2023 and 2025. The Best in Show cider will be professionally reproduced by Blackbird Cider Works and will be available on tap at the fair and sold in select retail stores. A complete listing of cider winners is available at ecfair.org/cider. Best in Show Homebrew, James Krell of West Seneca. Winning beer, Wish You Were Here. James Krell of West Seneca takes home the Best in Show Homebrew title for his red IPA, Wish You Were Here. Brewed with German and Red X malt, The beer delivers a rich malt character balanced by floral hop notes and a smooth finish. Corral began home brewing 11 years ago after receiving a brewing kit from his brother for his 40th birthday. As an active competitor in the Erie County Fair homebrew competition, he earned a silver medal in 2025 for his Maybach and received an honorable mention in 2024 for a German Altbier. The winning recipe is a refined version of a beer Corral previously entered in a competition benefiting leukemia and lymphoma research, a cause that holds special meaning following the loss of his mother to leukemia. Through careful adjustments and lessons learned from earlier batches, he developed the balanced red IPA that ultimately earned Best in Show honors. His award-winning lager will be professionally brewed by Hamburg Brewing Company and will be available at the fair and sold in select retail locations this summer. A full list of beer winners, see ecfair.org/homebrew. Tap the Barrel, a special sampling event featuring the 2026 Best in Home Cider and Homebrew, will be held from 4 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, July 21st at Hamburg Gaming, 5820 South Park Avenue. Guests 21 and older are invited to enjoy samples of the winning beer and cider, light snacks, and live music from Brother James. Gallivan DiPietro dedicate Town of Boston Bridge to fallen firefighters. State Senator Patrick Gallivan and Assemblyman David Pietro joined members of the Boston Fire Company on June 30th in dedicating a bridge on Rice Road in the town of Boston in the memory of 4 volunteer firefighters who died in a 1978 incident. The bridge over State Route 219 will be designated as the Boston Fire Company's Fallen Firefighters Memorial Bridge. On July 15, 1978, firefighters David Hadley, Eugene Schmidt, Dana Stevens, and Donald Fafner were overcome by carbon monoxide fumes when rescuing a teenager from a residential fire. All 4 men died after inhaling the colorless and odorless gas. The teenager survived, along with firefighter Fran Thiel, who was also involved in the rescue. As you can imagine, this tragedy shook the entire Boston community and our firefighters throughout the region, Gallivan said. It is never too late to recognize the services these brave volunteers provided to their neighbors and to honor their memory. This bridge designation will help ensure future generations know of their sacrifice. Several family members of the fallen firefighters were also on hand for the dedication, including Isabel Schmidt, widow of Eugene Schmidt, Shirley Hadley, widow of David Hadley, and Cleo Cobb, widow of Donald Fafner. Patty Stevens, widow of Dana Stevens, is deceased. Under legislation sponsored by Gallivan and DiPietro and signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul, the New York State Department of Transportation installed signs along Route 219 designating the Rice Road overpass in honor of the firemen. You are listening to Around the Area and the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Proposed Jeffrey Boulevard Child Care Center closing in on public hearing by Chris Graham, Sun Editor. A proposed 5,000 square foot child care center at 4090 Jeffrey Boulevard has received a negative State Environmental Quality Review Act determination from the Town of Hamburg Planning Board, stressing that the project will have no adverse impacts on the environment. The plan from the applicant, Lisa Acrophora is to turn an existing building within the industrial park into a child care center. Acrophora, who would be licensed under the Office of Child and Family Services, previously told the planning board that the center would be able to occupy 66 children ages 6 weeks and up. There would be a preschool wing and an infant toddler wing. With 6 total classrooms, the center will have 12 staff members, 6 teachers, and 6 teaching assistants. The plan also includes one fenced-in playground area set to be 3,000 square feet with separate space for the preschool children and infants and toddlers. The playground would be used during the business hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. The SEQRA determination was needed prior to the applicant going before the Town of Hamburg Zoning Board of Appeals. The applicant was set to go before the zoning board for an area variance for the playground on July 7th. If the applicant acquired the variance, they were set to go back before the planning board for its meeting on Wednesday, June 15 for a public hearing on the project. Hamburg man arraigned for shooting his dog. A Hamburg man was arraigned last week for shooting his dog. Dennis Rutkowski, 62, was arraigned on one count of aggravated cruelty to animals, a Class E felony under New York State agricultural and markets law, one count of prohibited use of weapons, and one count criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree, Class A misdemeanors. It's alleged that at 9:35 a.m. on June 28th, Town of Hamburg police officers responded to residents on West Canyon Drive to conduct a welfare check. While outside of the defendant's residence, the officers allegedly saw an injured dog in the backyard. The defendant is accused of intentionally causing serious physical injury to his companion animal by shooting the dog in the head with a rifle. The defendant is also accused of intentionally discharging the firearm near other occupied residence. The weapon was seized and the defendant was placed under arrest. The injured dog, an approximately 7-year-old male German Shepherd named Sky, was taken to the Orchard Park Veterinary Hospital to be treated for a single gunshot wound to its face. Sky is currently in the custody and care of the SPCA serving Erie County. Rutkowski is scheduled to return at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, July 30 for a felony hearing. He was released under the supervision of the probation department. The Erie County District Attorney's Office prosecutor requested that the court impose a securing order that prohibits the defendant from owning, harboring, or having custody or control of any animals while this case is pending prosecution. The temporary securing order was imposed. Town of Eden announces Public Works for BOA study. The Town of Eden is inviting all residents, business owners, and stakeholders to participate in a public workshop to solidify a shared community vision for the future of downtown Eden and the surrounding areas and to prioritize the redevelopment of specific strategy sites. The Eden Brownfield Opportunity Area study is a comprehensive, community-driven effort designed to attract investment and funding opportunities by establishing a clear and actionable vision for the town's future. Supported by grant funds from New York State Department of State BOE program, this 12-month planning process is focused on identifying both challenges and opportunities for downtown and site-specific revitalization with the goal of ensuring vibrant redevelopment that benefits the entire community. The workshop will be held from 5:30 to 7:30 on Tuesday, July 14th at the Duffy Center, 8791 South Main Street. During the workshop, participants will hear from project team about the progress of the Eden BOA plan to date and learn more about the process and timeline. Collaborative to define a long-term vision for the town, ask questions, and connect with fellow community members, and discuss strategic sites that should be prioritized for redevelopment and provide input that would help shape the implementation strategy for the final plan. No prior registration is required. For more information about the plan and ongoing opportunities for public input, visit edenny.gov/Eden brownfield opportunity area program / dot. The Erie County Fair announces new fire truck pull competition. The Erie County Fair has announced the debut of its inaugural fire truck pull competition set to take place Friday, August 14th during the fair. The new event will bring firefighters together for a test of strength, teamwork, and friendly competition as teams race to pull a fire truck 75 feet in the fastest time possible. The competition is open to fire departments across the region and is limited to 20 teams. Each fire department may enter one team. Each team will consist of 5 competitors, maximum 4 men and 1 woman, no subs. If no woman, the team competes as 4. Teams will receive 1-time pull, with the 3 fastest teams earning first, second, and third place honors. The event will take place from 3:30 to 5:30 on the Firefighters' Day, with the event activity scheduled from 3 to 6 p.m. Firefighter Day features free admission for firefighters and auxiliary members, a $10 voucher available for food, drinks, or rides, the daily firefighter honoree ceremony, and the memorial ceremony. The Firemen's Building is also open during the fair with exhibits and experiences including the Easter Roar engine truck, mass containment maze, hands-on only CPR with the Buffalo Bills Foundation, and more. Fire departments interested in participating are encouraged to register early as space is limited, and teams will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. Registration information and event details are available at ecfair.org/firetruck-polling-register. Crime incidents. Hamburg resident hit with array of drug charges following search warrant being executed. Town of Hamburg police responded to an apartment on Knoll Drive on June 26 to execute a search warrant in a narcotics case. The search warrant was for Damian Daniels, 45, of the town of Hamburg. Upon entering the residence, police found narcotics and drug paraphernalia in plain view throughout the home. This included a bag of crack cocaine weighing 6.8 grams, a bag of unknown white powder weighing 25 grams, and loose chunks of cocaine, the report said. In total, police said over 15 grams of cocaine were recovered from the residence. He was charged with 2 counts of felony criminal possession of narcotics with the intent to sell in the 3rd degree, felony criminal possession of narcotics in the 3rd degree, felony criminal possession of narcotics in the 4th degree, and 3 counts of criminal use of drug paraphernalia in the 2nd degree. Southtowns Regional Chamber of Commerce announces dates for midweek Hamburg Farmers Market. The Southtowns Regional Chamber of Commerce has announced the return of the midweek Hamburg Farmers Market, a community market designed to make fresh, locally grown food more convenient and accessible for residents throughout the Southtowns. Beginning on Wednesday, July 15th, the market will be held every Wednesday through September 9th. The hours for the market will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The market will be held at the Hamburg Peace Park, 22 Buffalo Street. The new market complements the popular Saturday Hamburg Farmers Market at the Hamburg Moose Lodge by offering a smaller, walkable midweek shopping experience in downtown Hamburg. Visitors can shop a selection of fresh fruits and vegetables, baked goods, flowers, specialty foods, and other locally produced products while supporting area farmers and small businesses. The downtown location also makes the market easily accessible for residents, employees, and visitors looking to shop during the week. Our Saturday market has become one of Western New York's premier farmers market, said Matthew Height, Executive Director of the Chamber. The Wednesday market gives our community another opportunity to purchase fresh, local products while creating additional opportunities for our farmers and food producers. We also hope the downtown location will make the market more accessible for seniors and others looking for a convenient midweek shopping experience. 7 Brew Coffee location heading to McKinley Mall by Chris Graham, Sun Editor. The McKinley Mall area is set to get a new coffee shop. 7 Brew Coffee will construct a 510 square foot building within the roundabout of the McKinley Mall after receiving site plan approval from the Town of Hamburg Planning Board. The store will be near the northern entrance of the mall, across from McKinley Plaza and next to Dollar Tree. The coffee chain has been growing in popularity throughout the country, including locations in Amherst, Lockport, Dunkirk, and the Niagara Falls. The drive-through only operation offers coffee, soda, tea, lemonade, smoothies, and shakes. The store at 3701 McKinley Parkway will have 2 drive-through lanes, each with 23 stacking spaces. There will also be a pass-through lane for customers who wish to leave the drive-through or have already gotten their order in the car in front of them. The project does have a traffic management plan that includes additional stacking spaces should they be needed. They will go through the McKinley Mall parking lot instead of having traffic back up into McKinley Parkway. The amount of potential backup has been discussed since the planning board began reviewing the project in January. You have been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour has been Donald. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Ampol Eagle. At 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. And following that, 5 o'clock, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. Stay with us for these readings and more throughout the day. following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability